Where'd your bottle of water go?
It's right here.
Oh, okay.
It's so I have something to do with my hands.
Got it. Got it. We got John over here doing all the controlling. It's thinking. There it goes. Now it kicked. Yes. All set. Just leave it right there. Make sure. Can you check LinkedIn? Okay. There it goes. And you're going to need to mute my computer. Lindsay's trying to get me to get another computer to run all the tech because right now it runs off of mine. She's like, "What's going to happen when you're not doing the interviews or you're not running behind the scenes?" I'm like, "Yeah, when we get there, we'll have that conversation. Right now, you just let me do my thing." So thank you guys for coming and joining us on today. Today is almost 2:30. We're going to get started a little early. Why? Because we've been sitting here for a while having great conversations. And the entire time we're having the conversations, I'm going, I wish the camera was on. So now the camera's on and y'all are going to be joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Joni. Joni, thank you for joining me here at the podcast studio. We've had some great conversations leading up to right now. And go ahead, just say hi, introduce yourself, and then we're going to hit the script.
Oh, well, I am Joni, the one and only. I haven't met another one, so I will say that until I do.
I like it.
But yes, thank you for inviting me. I will tell you this is something I didn't know was on my bucket list, but we're going to check that off today.
Good. I like it. I like it. So the bucket list. Yeah. How many things are on your bucket list?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Sometime, every once in a while, I'll go on and I'll remove things and then add some other things. But I'd probably say the most consistent, there's probably like 4 or 5 things.
John, do you have a bucket list? You have I don't have a bucket list.
Get a bucket list, Nick.
I need to get a bucket list.
You're not living.
I don't even, what do I put on a bucket list?
I mean, things you want to do that you feel like either you can't afford it, you don't have time, it's too scary, it's not important, it's just a fantasy, whatever. It's just things that you would do if you had every resource in the world and all the time.
If I had every resource in the world and I had the time, what would I be doing?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd probably be interviewing people.
Oh my gosh.
Like this, what we're doing right now, this is an absolute hobby of mine.
Awesome.
This is not work. Mm-hmm. This is hey, we're going to create some content. I get to interview you. This is fun for me. It's like I have work.
Yeah.
I have work that I enjoy doing, but this is absolute fun.
Well, people are interesting. That's why. I mean, I can share a bucket list thing.
Yeah,
Get you started.
Okay, go.
I grew up watching Shark Week in August. I can't remember I'm sure there's others who remember Shark Week. But I've always wanted to go down to South Africa off the Cape and hire a guy to take me out in his boat and pull the little fake seal just so I could see a great white shark breach. I want to see that before I die. Very specific, yeah.
That is like uber specific. Like you want to see a great white shark
jump out of the water. Not the seal. The seal's fake. It's just like a fake seal that they troll to get a great white shark to jump up out of the water.
And what about the boat?
Well, I mean, we're ahead, I guess. A few hundred yards. I'm hopefully I hire somebody who knows what he's doing and we don't get eaten. But I mean, I will have died seeing it. So that's the point.
Okay. All right. So bucket list. Got it. There are things that are things that I possibly cannot afford right now or don't have the time right now, but I definitely want to do it before I'm 50 years old.
Okay.
Would that be correct? Or 60 years old?
I don't know if there's a time expiration. I just want to see it before I graduate from Earth.
Graduate from Earth. Ooh, that was a good word. I like that. Graduate from Earth.
Yeah.
Have you graduated from Earth? Well,
Me?
I guess not.
I'm still here. I've got work to do. I've got classes to pass.
So much work to do. So much work to do. Okay, so here we go, everyone. If you're looking like, why does Nick have his phone out? That's not normal. So I have my phone mirrored to the TV in the back, and I'm trying to see if what's the best way of doing this. And I am epically failing. I'm just gonna put it down.
Okay.
That's probably safer. So, Joni,
Yeah.
we struck up a conversation because you told me that you're actually prior Air Force,
Yes.
and this was how many years ago?
Well, it would have to be about 7 years ago now. Yeah. And were you Navy?
No, it's Coastie.
Okay. I knew it was on the water.
Yes. We do the small boats with the fun stuff, not the big boats where you sit in a little green room.
Yeah. Well, my dad was Coast Guard, so
Oh, no kidding. I don't remember that. Man, hold on.
well, I have 3 dads. I just don't have an Air Force. I have a Marine, and a Marine, Navy, and a Coast Guard dad. So
Okay.
that's a crazy story. but-
Are you one of those people that can like remember like a lot of little details?
Possibly. It's, I mean, I put effort into trying to remember people and their stories. So I attach little things, but that's not a hard detail to remember because I'm prior service. So yeah.
And what did you do in the Air Force?
I fixed jets.
Keep going.
Little flex. No, I'm just joking. So the Air Force was quite an interesting time in my life. I didn't plan to go into the Air Force. I had my life planned out. So I was 2 years into college. My younger brother told me as he was graduating that he was just going to go down to the recruiter's office because he had to get out of town. And so thinking I was going to help him make the best choice, that I was like, I'm going to go down there with you because I'm sure you don't know the right questions to ask. So we went, and I said, we're going to start with the Air Force. And I think I just didn't want him to go into infantry, something like that. So we interviewed the Air Force recruiter. And as I'm asking questions, I just could not wrap my brain around what it's like to be in the Air Force. And so the whole time I'm asking questions, I think he thought I was the one interested. But anyways, we end up signing my brother on delayed enlistment. And then he turns and looks at me and says, how about you? And I said, I have got my life together. Thank you. I don't need the Air Force. So I had plans on going to UCLA as my dream school. I got accepted right out of high school, but I hung back just to kind of save up some money for that, totally thinking that I would have a shoe-in when I, transferred from community college. It didn't work out that way. And so when I got my thin letter from UCLA, I literally, the only thing I could think of, it's like an out-of-body experience. I went down to the recruiter's office and said, my brother leaves on December 2nd, and I have to leave on that day. What jobs do you have? So he did tell me I had to go take the ASVAB. You remember that test? And the area of aptitude that I was the least proficient is where I ended up getting a job. And it was like mechanical engineering and whatever. I'm better with my brain. So I ended up going into a profession where they teach us how to fix F-15s. And so that's what I did for 5 years, on and off.
An F-15. If you don't know what F-15 is, the F-15 is basically a rocket ship that they put wings on and said, watch this. The F-15 is a direct response. It was a direct response to Russia saying, look at this great jet that we have. And America said, watch this, we'll make it better. The F-15 has a kill record of like 156 to 0. It is the only jet to ever shoot a satellite out of outer space.
What?
It actually shot down another jet using a bomb.
I did not realize how studied up you were on F-15s. I feel like I should know all this.
I love F-15s. I absolutely love them.
Oh,
The
wow.
F-15, the F-14, the F-16. You ask me questions, I know
They're
more about
sexy,
them than
aren't they?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Come on.
Yeah.
F-16. Oh,
Fly-by-wire.
come on. And then the F-14, the Big Daddy. Come on. Aircraft carrier, let's go. Swept wing. It's funny because all 3 of those jets were direct response to a jet that Russia claimed they had. And then we said, hold up,
Hold
watch
my
this.
beer?
Yes. Yes. Hold my beer. Watch this. And then to watch what, the different defense departments would create. But an F-15 was in combat, got its wing shot off, and was still able to fly
What?
and land.
That's amazing.
Like, completely just sheared right off.
Wow.
So you got to work on F-15s.
Yeah.
I'm almost growlily jealous right now.
So do you know what the back shop avionics? So you probably don't. I'm not sure if you do, but
no idea.
I mean, I guess you were around ships.
Yes, a lot of them.
So my job specifically, so there's electrical component boxes in the cockpit, and so anytime something would break, they would just unscrew that box and take it to the back shop. And so in this room, we had test stations. So we'd hook up those electrical boxes to a test station that would feed it the stimuli that a jet would. And our job was to troubleshoot it down to a circuit card. And so we would fix it and send it back out. So I didn't get to work on the flight line. I think that would have been a lot more fun because then I could see the end result of my work. But it was cool. It was cool to say that I did it, you know.
So basically you did brain surgery for jets.
Pretty much. We made sure that pilots didn't die.
Yep. But I mean, you handled all of the brain aspects of it, all the computer aspects of it. Man, that sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. So how long were you in the Air Force?
5 years. When I wasn't, so the interesting thing about that is I did end up at a test base. So we didn't have a mission ready fleet of F-15s. So Edwards Air Force Base in California had about 8, and they were using it as test jets. So we didn't have a lot of workload most of the time. It wasn't like a mission capable base, actually a mission paced base. I don't know if you know what that means, but it just means that we weren't ready to deploy at any moment. But so the other time, I had a lot of time in between. So I actually served on the honor guard, the base honor guard. And during this time of, this was 1999 to 2003, we had a lot of our World War II veterans dying. So we were traveling all over Southern California, doing burial honors, you know, 21 gun salute, all these things. So when I think of my service, that is the thing I have the most pride in, was to be able to give them a respectable service to honor them. And then when I wasn't doing that or fixing jets, I was going around playing volleyball against the other Air Force bases. That was, I can actually say I was a professional athlete because I was getting paid to play volleyball.
There you go. New things I learned about you.
Yeah.
So how did we go from South California? I mean, granted, we've had the mass exodus, but this is way before that. What got you here to Texas?
Well, we did get out of the Air Force after serving 5 years, and my husband actually was recruited to come to Raytheon, which is here in McKinney. And so in 2006 is when we moved here. I'd say I've officially lived here longer than any other place in my life because I did grow up in a military family, so we jumped around. But when I was 12 is when, that was the longest time I ever lived in one place. And so I did my growing up in San Diego from the age of 12 to 21 when I left. And so now we're here in Texas and we've built a life here. And I like to say I got here as fast as I could.
Raytheon, what a great company. Love that company. I have a couple different friends that work. There's a McKinney location, and then is it Richardson or Plano?
It is Richardson.
Richardson location, yeah, both of them. Okay, so we met 7 years ago, and we can't remember what it was called. It was a big industrial place, and the only because we did a networking event there.
Yes, we did.
And there was a big studio, big video studio. The green screen was like 6 of my office.
Yeah,
it was so much fun. I love that, which kind of what inspired this of making sure I was able to do whatever I wanted here. But then we go through, and I meet you at the Prosper Chamber, and you're actively involved there. Things are going good there. The Prosper Chamber seems to be extremely healthy. Extremely healthy. There's a very wide age demographic there. It's not like some chambers you go to and it's like all realtors, or it's all mortgage people, and there's a good flow.
It's very diverse for sure. I love the Prosper Chamber because Prosper's definitely, I would say it's probably more than doubled since I moved here in 2017, but
Yes.
in population, not in, we can't expand physically, but you still have a small town feel as part of the chamber. I've never had the experience where just because I'm part of the chamber as an ambassador, I get to be involved in ribbon cuttings. I get to know who's who and what's happening in town, and just going out to Target or Walmart, it doesn't matter where I go, I always see somebody I know. It just really feels good to be connected in community.
And I think it's one of the things that makes Prosper special is it does have a small geographical footprint. And, when our kids go to schools and then we go to the parks, like you keep seeing the same people, right? So I love that about this area. You got involved with the Prosper Chamber before I did. Why did you join the Prosper Chamber?
At the time, this is about the time that I started my practice, and you can't build a business if you don't go meet people. So I did the thing where you go on Facebook and you look for events and you just try to go to as many as you can. But I was really just trying to identify the 2, 3, or 4 places I liked where I would show up consistently. And the chamber, actually, I attended a women's ladies in leadership. At that time, Tracy wasn't even our director. And I just felt so welcomed. I felt excited to go. I felt like I was seeing friends not working. And so that kind of spilled over into, hey, why don't you join the Prosper Chamber? And I started attending those events. And when you start to see the same people over and over again and you follow their journey and you see their business successes and even the hardships, and you're there to try to help them, and vice versa, like them helping you to get connected, it just felt you didn't have to try. It's just welcoming.
That is one thing I do think that businesses miss. They're like, oh, I'm going to go to the chamber 3 times. And then poof.
And I should get some business, right? If I
There
give
you
out
go.
my card, someone will call.
Right. Okay. So here's a pet peeve of mine. If I don't ask for your business card, don't hand it to me.
Oh.
That is in the way I feel about it. This is Nick feeling. This is no one else's feeling. If I did not ask for your business card, I didn't want it in the first place. So when you handed me your business card, when you forced me to have your business card, it wound up in the trash. It does. It actually, I just completely lied. It doesn't even make it into this office, into the trash can.
Yeah.
It's probably still sitting in my car at the very bottom of the console. It's never going to get used. If I ask for your business card, or if I say, hey, can I get your phone number, your email? Like, granted, there's a point of interest. But when you do it awkwardly, because people, when they know when they're forcing it.
Yeah.
And they're awkward. Like, here's my business
Yeah, maybe sometime we can.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
I'm always in control of that conversation also. I ask for people's cards. I mean, I'll let them give it to me, but you can bet that I'm making a mental note of, is there going to be any, and it's not always just to see if we have business chemistry. It's just because just like you, I mean, I don't want to sit here in front of a camera all the time and ask people about their stories, but I love hearing people's stories. It's just, the world is too small for you to just know about you and your husband and your, just find out we all go through the same challenges. Like
we do.
And
still don't hand me your business card.
Yeah. Duly noted. But I do feel extra special because you invited me to come here.
I did. I 100% did. Yes. And we can keep going down this conversation. We can go down this rabbit hole for a while, but I have more topics that I want to get to. So about two Prosper Cultivates, which
our networking meeting,
which is Tuesday morning. And it's so funny because my daughters always know when that's going to happen, because that's the day that we leave the house 10 minutes early so I can get there on time. Right. So we have that, and I'm sitting there and I'm on the inside, so I'm not moving. You're on the outside, and we're doing the speed networking.
Yep.
Right. And you have this sticker on your
Stanley,
and it said, Primal Babes. I'm like, That's interesting.
Is that a cult?
Well, like I hear like primal steak or something like that.
Do you do sacrifices?
We're not talking about Epstein, okay?
Oh, hey.
So I'm like, and obviously, like, it's your turn to sit, like with me for during speed networking. So obviously, you have a sticker. It's caught my attention. What is Primal Babes? Go.
Well, Primal Babes is a community of women that I found who, it's led by a lady named Candy Frazier. Her Instagram tag is called the Primal Bod. Okay, so this story I have to back up and give context. So I guess we're going on 3 years now. My husband got swept up in the carnivore movement and decided, because my daughter mentioned to him that, hey, Dad, you've never had abs. And she was talking about her uncle who was showing his abs. And he's like, Dad, when are you going to get abs? Something like this. And that irked him. So he went on a quest.
Yeah.
He went on a quest to recomp, and he chose to try the carnivore diet and got fantastic. My husband's the kind who decides to do something and he does it. So a year later, he's in a completely different state and he's feeling great. And all the time he's asking me to do this with him. And I just had no desire to eat meat every day. Just meat after meal after meal after meal. I didn't at the time.
Sounds amazing.
Well, it does now. But back then when I would try to eat a steak, it felt hard to move for a couple of days. So there was something that I needed systemically to fix. Obviously, I know this now. So I hit that point in life where I'm complaining about, hey, the things I used to do to lose weight and get in shape, they don't work anymore. And, I'm reading about, hey, if you have this, and this, and this, it could be your hormones. And I'm starting to pay attention to this conversation. And he's telling me in the other ear, you need to try carnivore. All that stuff will go away. And I keep telling him, no, that works for men. Women are different. I just think women are different. Those things will work for you. And so this turns into a monumental fight. I think it lasted 4 days. It wasn't that I wouldn't try it. It's that I didn't respect his opinion. He's going to listen to this and he's going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you told him that. And so I said, he just knew where I stood. So then he's the one who found Candy and he sent me her Instagram, a thing. And she's deep in this conversation about how to return your body back to its factory presets. That's why she calls it primal. Your body is meant to operate in a completely different environment than the one that we have today.
Keep going.
So it's everything from the way that we eat, the way that we sleep, the way that we move. I mean, think about how, and she goes all the way back to caveman days. You had to hunt for your food. You lived off of ketones because carbs were not just, a loaf of bread's not somewhere easily available. We didn't eat plants. We didn't eat vegetables because back then, through a process, and this is a very controversial thing with people in Candy. They hate that she says that vegetables and fruit, they're clown food because they've been GMO'd through the years. But this is what she believes. And so it was meat. Meat was the primary fuel source for human beings. And also that we slept and rose by the sunlight. And so the whole thing about hormones is there is a master hormone that if it is off, the rest of the chain will be off, and it's insulin. I know this could be a whole complete other talk, but she basically, her story is that when she married her current husband a few years back, he is a type 1, so he's had it since he was 16, and it's not brought on by food. And to make it easier, and she was a holistic practitioner, so she was convinced that she could help him fix this condition. She went on a quest to figure out how to do that, but she also changed her lifestyle so that they ate the same foods, and so what she did is she learned how to regulate her own insulin, even though her body worked normal. And over the years of trying all the different fad diets, 75-day hard, paleo, everything, like vegan, anything she tried, she was thin, but she was skinny fat. She always had cellulite. Yep. She couldn't get toned, and she had, other, gut issues and everything. So not knowing what she was actually doing, she ate like him. She watched what she ate. She tracked her blood sugar. And then over a short period of time, I want to say it was around 6 weeks, less than 2 months, her body composition changed. Her cellulite went away. She had she had muscle tone, and she's like, there's something to this. So in her practice with her clients, they would come in and want to lose weight, and she would put them on this particular protocol that she was actively creating. And she got so many perimenopausal women losing the last 10, 15 pounds that they couldn't before. But this isn't just a diet. This isn't just, oh, eat this, eat this, eat this. It's a lifestyle change. We're talking about sunlight as a nutrient. People don't really know that blue light from your phones and screens can make you fat.
What?
Yes. That's like going from A all the way to Z, because there's some things in between. But the idea is that because it messes with your insulin, when your body will be put into a fight or flight mode, which it's not interested in losing fat. It's interested in keeping you alive and alert. So there's a lot of things you learn in this community, which I went from living, I guess, like a normal life to now most of the 4 out of the 5 people in my household, we do sauna all the time. We cold plunge, we ground, which means we go with bare feet on the grass. We take in red light from staring at the sun in the first 30 minutes of the day when the sun rises, and at sunsets when we can, we take in red light, because your hormones actually are regulated by the red light. So when you get that first red light in the morning, that sends a signal that melatonin is going to kick in 12 hours later, so that you're sleepy when you're supposed to be. And then at night, if you take in red light, that sends off the signal to wake you up 12 hours later naturally. So it's just a lot of, it's all, insulin is the master hormone. And if you can fix your insulin, you will find a lot of your other hormonally related conditions seem to fix itself. And when your body's healthy, it will lose the weight.
That's like paleo, or if I've even said that word correctly, or carnivore to a whole nother level. It's the insulin. Mm-hmm. I've never heard it put that way.
And obviously there's a lot of education into the food. So people don't eat protein. They don't eat enough protein. I
agree.
So there's you have women who are experiencing it starts with an O, osteoporosis, where their bones become super porous because there's not enough protein, right? So just living with, let's say this differently, eating a carnivore diet, you will naturally get rid of processed foods. You don't eat a lot of vegetables and fruits, so you don't take on that toxicity load. Because if we lived somewhere where we could farm and we understood that our soil wasn't, depleted of nutrients, then that's a different story. But we're just going to the grocery store and getting whatever, and you can't even trust if it says organic, if it really is anymore.
No, I don't know this.
Yeah, well.
So here we go. Because what's going to happen? Someone's going to watch this and they're going to be like, hey, that's great. I hear you. Mm-hmm. Can you give me, and I'm not trying to take any trade secrets away, but like, great. You get up in the morning, like, what should you have for breakfast? And just in your mm-hmm. opinion, give me a breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner scenario. Mm-hmm.
Well, once you have gone through the program's going to step you into this lifestyle. Okay. Right. And so by week 6 should be the place that you operate 80% of the time. And the other 20% is because we understand life happens. There's going to be birthday parties. There's going to be a night out with friends with wine. There's that. But at least Monday through Friday, if you could operate this way, your quality of life will significantly increase. Okay. Okay. So here are the big things. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is about the recommendation. Mm-hmm. So for me, I weigh a little, this is a little bit low, but I have found, and there's some tweaking through experimentation. Sure. I work best at 120 grams of protein mm-hmm. every day. And my primary source of that protein is going to be through meat. to ribeyes, lamb chops, ground beef, eggs. I try not to lean on the protein shakes, but sometimes I have to do it in a pinch. So get your protein in. Number 2 is you want to eat all of your meals in a condensed window so that your eating window might be from 9 a.m. to 2 or 9 to 3, because your last meal of the day, your body is going to process that food for 4 hours, right? And this is if you're trying to lose that last 10, 15 pounds, right?
Sure.
So weight loss. So it's kind of like intermittent fasting, but it's upside down, because people typically, they eat their last meal at dinner and then they get up the next day and they don't break their breakfast until lunch or 2 o'clock. So they have 17 hours where their body is allowed to just restore and repair. You can't expect your body to restore and repair and shed toxicity if you're constantly giving it food to digest.
No, I never thought of it that way. Keep going.
So intermittent fasting is where you stop eating at dinner and then you go till like lunch the next day. She suggests that, especially for women, to do it the opposite. So you start off 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, be done by 2, so that the rest of your day, your body has enough time to digest that food. By the time you get to bed, 9, 10 o'clock, you're primed for your body to go into REM deep sleep, which is where all of the repair functions happen. And so when you get up in the morning, you've still gone 17 to 18 hours without food, but you eat breakfast at a normal time. So that's been an interesting thing. That's helped with other habits that I've wanted to change, because dinner's like it's a social event, right? And with your home, in your homes, it's everybody comes together at dinner. So it's a bonding time. It's a time to be with your family. And so I've just had to replace that. And that's when I do my workouts. Because I want to burn through my glycogen by the time I go to bed. I want to be in fat burning mode. Another reason that you want that condensed window of eating is because every time you put something in your mouth, you spike insulin. And the whole point of this is to control your insulin. Every time. So we've been taught, rev up your metabolism, eat every 3 hours. Candy's work suggests that that's not actually efficient.
We have learned a lot of what we were taught over the last 20, 30 years is 100% incorrect.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay, so let me just so what I'm hearing you say is start your day off with a very, very, I'll call it protein heavy breakfast, protein heavy lunch, and then by the time you get to dinner, like, no, actually don't eat dinner.
Don't eat. You're fasting from 3 p.m. till breakfast.
Interesting. And and there's proof of this. People that have chosen to start living this way are actually, quote unquote, living a higher, healthier, lifestyle because their body's operating in a more efficient way.
Yes, you're not stealing the body's resources that it should be using for repair by giving it other jobs to do.
And every time you put food in your mouth, you're stopping the possibility of a repair. What?
Yeah. So it's anybody who, if this is interesting, anybody, again, on Instagram, she's the Primal Bod.
Okay.
Yeah. She has a men's program too, but she specifically caters to women.
Sure. But, that makes sense.
But again, there's a lot of other fun things she'll teach you, like junk blue light. She'll teach you about how to get rid of visceral fat, and it's not as hard as people think. It just takes a little bit of consistency.
Sure. Yeah. And that's it, right? Okay, so we're going to move into the next topic. So you started networking because you got into this world of financial
planning.
Why?
Yeah, that's a fun story too. I'm just full of stories.
I like it. Let's go.
It's been very organic. I didn't actually set out to become a financial advisor of any sort. So when I moved to Texas and we started having kids, it had always been important to us to homeschool. And within that homeschool, I was obsessed with making sure that they had some type of financial literacy. I'm not uncommon. I grew up with money trauma. I watched my parents fight about not having enough and feeling like I whenever I needed something, I felt like I couldn't ask for it. And so I just didn't want that type of a lifestyle. But as an adult, if you don't get direction, you'll end up repeating some of these patterns.
100%.
And I wanted it to be different for my kids. So it's just interesting how we assume that because people are good at education, like they have a lot of education or they got great grades, that they're just somehow financially literate also. And there's a certain amount of shame, I think, in admitting that you need to be taught. And this is just my story. Mm-hmm. So now I've got kids and I want to teach them how to, when they make money, I want to teach them how to keep it, how to grow it, how to save it, how to invest it, all the things. So I start trying to educate myself through books, just like many of our audience has. I just found that it was very confusing. It's like I couldn't find an entry point. I was just like, where do I even start? And at the time, I didn't feel like I could approach like a financial advisor because I thought that to do that, you had to have like thousands of extra dollars a month to invest. Mm-hmm. So many people still think that too. So it was during this time that I met somebody who was in the financial world. We went to his network. We went to his little lunch and learn. I would say little. It was a lot of people there, but we went to his lunch and learn. He gave a 20-minute talk on personal finance, what they should have taught you in high school, but didn't. I sat there just stunned thinking, God, if I just had known this 15, 10, 5 years ago, mm-hmm. things could be, it could be so different.
So different.
So when my kids, I was homeschooling, but for various reasons, they ended up going into the public school system. And I just decided at that time, what could I dedicate my life to that is actually going to leave a legacy and mean anything? I was a personal trainer before, and that was fun. I mean, I was changing people's lives for a little while until they fell back into old habits. Mm-hmm. But so I just decided, I'm going to continue educating my kids because even though they go into the public school system and they'll learn about history, they'll learn about all these things, I know they won't teach them about money.
Correct.
So this is kind of how I fell into this career. I went back to that, the mentor that I have mm-hmm. who did the presentation. And I said, I don't know what you do. I just want to learn it. And I want to put that message out. I want to teach people how to do this because there are people who are like me who need help. They don't know who to ask. And quite literally, quite honestly, they're a little ashamed. They don't want to be judged for not knowing. But how is it fair to be judged for not knowing something that no one's taught you? I think that's silly.
And majority of the people who are doing the judging don't know it themselves.
Yeah. So my practice literally was born out of not a desire to build be the best advisor in town, to build a practice. Actually, it was kind of the opposite. I didn't really want to build a practice and lead people. Mm-hmm. But that becomes your responsibility when you learn what you learn.
Correct.
So I just really wanted to take what I learned into the home and implement it and teach my kids and then just go on my merry way. I didn't think I'd ever work. I was happy being the CEO of the home. That's a very big job.
It is.
And it's so important. It's the most important because you want to turn out good humans, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how I started my practice. And I was with a big box firm and, I'll say it this way. I was regurgitating. Mm-hmm. And I think there's something rebellious in my nature where I don't have sacred cows. I question mm-hmm. a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And I became aware of a concept called infinite banking early in this journey, actually before I decided to go into practice. And it's this idea that before there was a stock market, there wasn't a lot of places to invest other than real estate. And the wealthy, they had particular strategies that they passed down by teaching their kids at the table that the non-wealthy, they would never know about these strategies unless they
Correct.
Were brought in. And so I became aware of infinite banking and I just saw a bigger path for that concept to be brought to the masses. Like this would change their lives. And so I went down that rabbit hole. And just because it does involve insurance, I found myself working at an insurance company because I needed to learn the ins and outs of how to do this. And silly me, I thought that I would just walk into the building and everybody would be talking about infinite banking. But it was hard to find. Now that TikTok is around, Instagram, like social media has really put it out there. Unfortunately, they don't all get it right. They like to put the buzzwords in there, but to get your attention, but you still need to work with a qualified professional to get that set up correctly.
Your Instagram influencer is not your financial advisor. Let me just go and just make this very clear. Your Instagram influencer is not your CPA.
Right.
Your Instagram influencer is not your pastor. Your Instagram influencer is not your marketer. The day that you think that someone else's job is easy is the day that you just admitted you don't understand.
Yeah.
If I sat here and I said, "Oh yeah, financial planning, psh, that's easy," immediately you go, "You have no idea," right?
Right.
That's exactly what went through your head, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what gift God has given you that says, "Hey, here's how I've created you. Here's how you're going to operate. Here's how I've designed you." Right? There's all these other people, and when you go, "Oh man, being a plumber must be so easy. Being an electrician, that's easy."
Yeah, they don't see the hard work. They see the finished product. But at the same time, I totally agree with that. And in the same breath, I can say financial planning shouldn't be hard. I think that on some level, it's made to seem that way so that you give your authority and your resources to somebody else to manage. But I'm big on keeping control.
No way.
Yes. I'm big on freedom. I'm big on control. I don't believe in this idea that you are not capable of figuring things out.
No, but when I look at the time that I have and the gifts that God has given me, understanding that, I don't need to take the time to understand that. Guy, I have someone like you in my life that understands that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's what I mean with what I was saying, right? I love marketing. I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wake up early and I'm excited to do this, right? There are people that look at marketing and go, "No, Nick, just handle it."
Yeah, I'm one of those. I just show up here and talk, and y'all will do whatever you do. Yep. And I guess to backtrack, I guess I would love to be a messenger in this industry to help people understand it at their level. We don't need to use high level jargon. We can make investing very simple. And honestly, if you have just this much, meaning like you don't have a complicated estate, you maybe have a W-2, maybe you have a side hustle, you don't have a ton of real estate or property, it's very clean. When you have a lot of that going on, you need a team. You need a CPA, you need an estate planning attorney, you need a financial advisor. But there's levels to that. But what I love about so I did start off with like a big box planning firm, but I have, when we talked earlier before we were rolling about transition, I spent the last year transitioning away from that model and becoming independent because I really wanted to find my own voice and make sure that I was telling the story that's relevant to me, because there's lots of people who are in my path currently. And then there are a lot of people who stayed there. Some people I'm going to help. Hopefully I can reach a lot of them and say, "Hey, here are the things I wish I knew at your age."
Correct.
So the model that we have now, and I have a team, obviously. We lead with education. We host a couple of workshops around town, financial education. They're free workshops, free networking events where people have an easy entry, a very approachable way to ask their questions where they're not made to feel like they're being sold to, or it's just basics. It's things that they should things they should have been taught in high school but weren't. And when people come, what I love is they become invested, pun intended, into their own success, and that is a better outcome for not only them, but for us as advisors.
Absolutely.
So that's how we come full circle to where I feel like I'm actually leaving an impact.
There you go. Imagine if everyone thought that way. I'm going to take this gift. I'm going to go in this direction. And at the end of it, my hope, my prayer is I've left an impact.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of people that are too busy sitting on the sidelines to get into the game.
Mm-hmm. They fear their gift.
Mm-hmm. They don't just fear their gift. They don't even know they have a gift.
Right.
Because of maybe how they were raised, or because of their current financial situation. They've been so beat down by this world that they forget that God made them for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
God gave them a gift, but God does say you need to identify it, develop it, and deploy it, right? And it's so important to have positive voices. Again, why do we go to the Prosper Chamber? The Prosper Chamber is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It is a positive environment. There's so many people smiling. And, there's 3 or 4 different financial advisors that go there.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I was there was another marketing guy that was there. And it was just like, oh, you're in marketing? I'm in marketing. That's cool. What do you niche in? Oh, here's what I niche in.
Yeah.
And it was very easy because at this point, you realize that even within your vertical, there are certain niches that this person's the expert in, and I'm okay not being the expert in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think everything you said was just absolute hot gold. Thank you for joining me today.
I'm so happy to have had this time.
Thank you, audience, for joining us here today. I'm excited to host some more of these. I am going to be going out of the state here for a week, so if you don't see me, that's why. So thank you again for joining me, and we'll see you on this next episode.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.